The first warning arrived on a quiet morning when the world was still waking up. Cities were busy, people were going to work, and students were getting ready for school. Everything felt normal until every screen across Earth suddenly flickered. Phones, TVs, billboards, car displays, even satellites, showed one single message in bright red letters. Humanity must surrender. For a moment, the world froze. No one understood what was happening. People thought it was a global hack or some new government alert. But when the second message appeared, the fear spread even faster. The galaxy has united against you. The message came with a deep vibration from the sky, a sound that shook windows and made birds scatter. Scientists and military leaders rushed to check space communications. What they found made their hearts drop. The signal was not from Earth. It came from far beyond the solar system. A powerful group known as the Galactic Union had sent the warning. These were not simple aliens or lonely explorers. They were an organized force, a collection of many advanced civilizations that ruled most of the galaxy. They had technology thousands of years ahead of humanity. And now, for the first time in history, they were speaking directly to Earth. Commander Ryan Hayes stood inside the Global Defense Headquarters, watching the signal repeat on a giant holographic screen. He was a calm, sharp-minded officer in his late 30s, known for staying steady even under pressure. But even he felt the weight of the moment pressing on his chest. He turned to Dr. Mira Solin, Earth's top astrophysicist. "Is this real?" he asked quietly. Mira nodded, her voice low. "Yes. The message is confirmed. Thousands of alien transmitters are sending it together. They want us to hear it clearly." Ryan stared at the words again. Humanity must surrender. It felt unreal. Humanity had always wondered if they were alone. No one expected the first contact to be a threat this big. Within hours, people around the world panicked. Social media exploded. News channels went live non-stop. Some people prayed. Others ran to supermarkets. Governments called emergency meetings. But Ryan focused on something else, the sky. Satellites had detected movement near Jupiter. Massive shapes appeared behind the gas giant, slowly revealing themselves. Giant ships, black, sharp, and glowing with alien blue lights. Each one was larger than any human ship ever built. And more were arriving every hour. Mira whispered, "This is a show of power. They want to scare us." But Ryan shook his head. "No. They want us to kneel." He knew humanity's history too well. Humans had been underestimated before. They had been called weak, small, stubborn. But they always stood back up. They survived wars, disasters, and everything between. They adapted faster than any species on Earth. Yet this time, the threat was far bigger. The Galactic Union sent one more message, this time with a voice. It was smooth, cold, and emotionless. "Humans. You are growing too fast. You learn too quickly. Your inventions are unstable. Your instincts are dangerous. You threaten the balance of the galaxy. Surrender your world. Accept control. Or be erased." Mira swallowed hard. "They fear us." Ryan looked at her. "Yes. And that fear makes them want to crush us." A meeting was held inside Earth's highest council chamber. Leaders argued. Some said Earth should negotiate. Others said surrender was the only safe option. A few demanded war, even though humanity had no chance at this moment. Everyone kept talking, but no one was thinking clearly. The room was filled with fear. Ryan stood up slowly. He did not shout. He did not beg. He spoke in a calm, steady voice that somehow made everyone else fall silent. "Humans have made mistakes," he said. "But humans also rise when no one expects it. If the galaxy is united against us, then they will finally see who we really are. Some leaders frowned. Others listened with growing hope. Rian continued, "We cannot surrender. Not because we are strong, but because surrender means our children will live as slaves. And humans do not stay on their knees." His words spread across the room like fire catching dry leaves. For the first time since the warning, people felt something other than fear. They felt unity. They felt determination. They felt human. Outside the windows, more alien ships appeared near Jupiter. The threat was real and growing every second. But humanity was no longer frozen. Earth's defense forces mobilized. Engineers began preparing old facilities. Scientists started reviewing every unfinished project. Civilians volunteered for support teams. The entire world moved in one direction. Not toward surrender, but toward survival. The galaxy had united against humans. But humanity refused to fall. The alien fleet near Jupiter grew larger every hour. What started as a few gigantic ships had now turned into a full wall of metal stretching across the darkness of space. The Galactic Union wanted humanity to see their power, and they wanted humans to break before the first shot was fired. But Earth did not break. Commander Rian Hayes walked through the main hangar of Earth's Defense Command. It was filled with noise, engineers running with tools, pilots checking their suits, scientists arguing over formulas. The normally quiet hall felt like a giant heart beating fast. Rian noticed something unusual. These people were not moving out of fear. They were moving with purpose. Mira approached him with a tablet glowing bright blue. "We have a problem," she said. "The Astra shield is only 60% complete. If the Union attacks now, we have no protection." The Astra shield was humanity's newest and boldest idea, a giant energy barrier that could cover the entire planet. If it worked, it could block even the strongest alien weapons. But the Union clearly knew humans were working on something powerful. That was why they came early. Rian took a deep breath. "How long do we need to finish it?" "At least 40 hours, Mira replied. They both looked at the timer on the holographic screen. The Union fleet would reach attack range in 24. Earth was running out of time. But then, something unexpected happened. A transmission lit up on the main screen. It was encrypted, weak, and clearly not from the Union. Rian opened it, expecting another threat. Instead, he saw 3 alien faces, strange, different, but not hostile. A tall creature with silver eyes spoke first. "We come in peace. We seek asylum." Everyone in the room froze. The alien continued, "We do not support the Union's order to destroy your kind. Some of us believe humans are special." Mira stepped forward. "Why help us? What do you want?" The alien lowered his head. "A chance to live free. The Union controls everything. They fear species like yours, species that grow fast, think fast, evolve fast. You scare them. But to us, you inspire hope." Behind him, 2 other aliens nodded nervously. Rian exchanged a glance with Mira. They did not have time for debates. If these aliens were lying, it could be dangerous. But if they were telling the truth, they might have something Earth desperately needed. "Do you have information about the Union fleet?" Rian asked. "Yes," the silver-eyed alien said. "We know their weak points. We know where their energy cores are located. And we know how long until they attack." A long silence filled the room. Rian finally spoke. "Then we work together." That single sentence changed everything. Within hours, the defectors were integrated into Earth's defense teams. Their knowledge shocked human scientists. The Union fleet was powerful, but not perfect. Their weapons took time to recharge. Their ships had blind spots. Their communication lines could be jammed. Humans had always been good at one thing: turning weaknesses into opportunities. Meanwhile, news spread across Earth. People who had been afraid earlier now felt a spark of courage. Volunteers flooded recruitment offices. Farmers donated fuel. Mechanics repaired old ships from Earth's early space programs. Students organized supply chains. Even children wrote messages of hope on banners placed outside military bases. Humanity was no longer one nation or one group. It was one family. Night fell, and Earth's sky lit up with thousands of small defense craft rising from launch pads. They formed a ring of silver lights around the planet. The world watched as the human fleet positioned itself against the invading darkness. Mira calculated the numbers again. If we work non-stop, we can finish the Astra shield just in time. Rian nodded. Then we will. As the final preparations continued, a strange calm filled Earth. Humans knew they were outnumbered, but they also knew something the aliens did not. Humans fight hardest when it seems impossible. The countdown reached its final minutes. The Union fleet activated its weapons. The sky above Earth turned red as enemy fire approached. But humanity stood tall. Their hearts steady. Their eyes unblinking. The world did not surrender. The world prepared to rise. The battle of survival was about to begin, and the galaxy had no idea what humans could do when their backs were against the wall. The moment the Galactic Union's fleet reached attack range, every sensor on Earth screamed with warnings. The dark shapes near Jupiter spread out, forming a massive arc around the solar system, like a giant hand closing in to crush Earth. Commander Rian Hayes stood at the command deck of the flagship Valiant Dawn, staring at the incoming wave of red enemy signals. Even the bravest pilots felt their hearts tighten. The Union fleet was beyond anything humans had imagined, thousands of ships, different designs, different species, but united under one purpose. Erase humanity from existence. Rian touched his earpiece. All units, final check. This is not just a battle. This is our survival. Across space, hundreds of human ships formed defensive patterns. Some were old, some were experimental, but every pilot inside them had the same fire in their eyes. These ships did not represent nations anymore, they represented the entire human species. Myra's voice echoed from the science deck. The Astra shield is at 93%. We need 7 more minutes. Rian exhaled slowly. 7 minutes felt like forever when death was already flying toward them. The Union launched the first strike. A giant beam of blue energy fired straight from one of their capital ships, slicing through the darkness like a blade of light. Smaller Union fighters followed behind, releasing bursts of deadly plasma that illuminated space. Human ships moved in. They were smaller. Faster. Unpredictable. And that was exactly what made them dangerous. Rian led the first squad through the center, engines roaring. Break formation. Use evasive paths. Do not fly predictable. Human pilots scattered in wild patterns, zigzagging, spiral diving, rolling, and flipping through enemy fire. Union ships were built around logic and order. Their system expected clean, calculated movements. Humans gave them chaos. A young pilot named Lena spun her ship between 2 enemy beams, her voice shaking but determined. They cannot hit us. They do not understand our style. And she was right. Union sensors were designed to predict enemy movements using advanced algorithms. But humans acted on instinct, raw, fast, emotional instinct. It confused the alien targeting systems. Rian blasted through the first line of fighters, destroying 2 enemy ships with rapid-fire lasers. Keep pushing. Hit their energy relays. Mira shouted through the comms, their capital ships have weak spots behind their thruster wings. If you hit those, the shield collapses. Human ships darted around the massive alien vessels, targeting the exposed regions. Explosions lit up space like fireworks, pieces of metal drifting away into the void. But the Union was not slow to respond. A deep, monstrous sound echoed through the battlefield as their superweapon prepared to fire again. The Union's flagship, a massive triangular beast coated in glowing blue veins, aimed directly at Earth. Myra's voice turned sharp. If that beam hits before the Astra shield activates, Earth will be destroyed. Time was running out. Rian gritted his teeth. All ships, form a wall in front of the beam. Absorb what you can. No one refused. Hundreds of human ships moved in front of the deadly blast, creating a living shield. They knew the risks. They knew many of them would not return. But they moved anyway. Because that is what humans do. The superweapon fired. A blinding wave of blue light erupted, shaking every ship in the area. Pilots screamed as their shields cracked. Metal bent. Engines exploded. Some ships disintegrated instantly. But their sacrifice bought time. Mira yelled, "Astra shield at 99%. Almost there." The Union prepared a second shot, stronger and faster. Rian pushed his ship forward, heading straight toward the enemy's firing core. Alarms blared inside his cockpit. "Rian, fall back!" Mira shouted. He did not listen. He could not. If the core was not disrupted in seconds, Earth would not survive. He aimed at the glowing center of the enemy superweapon. His hands tightened. His eyes narrowed. Then, a giant burst of silver light exploded behind Earth. The Astra shield activated. A massive shimmering dome spread around the planet, shining like a protective star. The Union beam hit the barrier, and bounced back. The shockwave tore through the enemy fleet, breaking ships apart and sending explosions across the battlefield. Union commanders panicked. Their perfect formation collapsed. Rian watched in disbelief as the impossible happened. It worked. The shield worked. Mira laughed with relief and tears. Humanity lives. But the battle was not over. The Union was wounded, but not defeated. And now, for the first time, they were afraid of humans. The battlefield around Jupiter slowly fell silent. Pieces of broken alien ships drifted through the dark like floating ghosts. Human ships flickered with damaged lights, engines sparking and metal cracked, but they were still standing. They had survived the strongest attack the Galactic Union had ever launched. Inside the Valiant Dawn, Commander Rian Hayes looked at the glowing Astra shield surrounding Earth. It shimmered like a giant silver sun, protecting everything he loved. The Union's superweapon had failed. Their fleets were scattered. And now, for the first time, the galaxy saw something they never expected. Humans pushing back. Myra's voice trembled with relief. We actually did it. Earth is alive." But Rian did not celebrate yet. His eyes stayed focused on the remaining Union ships regrouping in the distance. Their movements were slow and confused. Their commanders were arguing. Their systems were damaged. Fear spread across their ranks like wildfire. "Open a broadcast channel," Rian said calmly. Mira turned to him. "To who?" "To the entire galaxy." The tech officers nodded and activated every long-range transmitter Earth had. Signals stretched across star systems, passing through space like ripples in water. A live hologram of Rian appeared before millions, aliens, rebels, defectors, leaders, and terrified Union citizens. Many of them had never seen a human before. And now one was speaking directly to them. Rian stood tall, his uniform torn from battle but his face steady. "I am Commander Rian Hayes of Earth. Your leaders united to destroy us today. They called us unstable. Dangerous. Too fast. Too different." He paused, letting the message settle. The galaxy listened. "But hear me clearly," he continued. "We do not seek war. Humanity does not want to rule anyone. We only want to live free. And today, we proved something important: humans will never bow to fear. On alien worlds, ordinary citizens leaned closer to their screens. Some felt anger at their leaders. Others felt surprise. Many felt respect for a species they once feared. Rian's tone remained gentle but strong. To every world forced to obey the Union, know this: humanity does not see you as enemies. We see you as potential friends. Stand with us. Work with us. Or leave us be. But do not try to break us. Because humans rise every time. His message ended. Silence filled the galaxy. Inside the Union flagship, the council members watched with trembling hands. They had expected humans to die quietly. They expected fear. Instead, they saw courage that shook their political structure. Worlds that once blindly followed the Union began to question everything. At that moment, something remarkable happened. A small alien vessel, damaged and smoking, slowly drifted toward the human formation. The ship opened a communication line. A weak voice spoke. We are from the planet Tyros. We refuse to fight you. We wish to join your alliance. Then another ship broke away from the Union fleet. And another. And another. Within minutes, over 100 ships crossed the battlefield, not to attack, but to surrender to humans willingly. Mira covered her mouth with her hands, stunned. They are choosing us, over the Union. For the first time in their history, Rian said softly, someone finally stood up to the Union. And survived. Back on Earth, people in every city watched the moment live. Crowds gathered on rooftops, in streets, outside homes, cheering when they saw alien ships leaving the Union. Children hugged their parents. Volunteers cried with relief. Soldiers stood proudly with damaged armor and tired eyes. Humanity had not just survived. Humanity had changed the galaxy. Rian returned to the command deck as more alien worlds sent messages of support. Tyros, Varanth, Kirill, Saman, Lyra T, all begging for peace with Earth, wanting a chance to choose their own future. Earth was no longer a small, ignored world. It was a symbol. A spark of freedom. A voice strong enough to shake the stars. Mira stood next to Rian. What happens now? Rian looked at the map of alien systems lighting up one by one with blue alliances. Now we rebuild. We heal. And we guide a new age, not through power, but through example. Outside the window, Earth shone brightly behind the Astra shield, safe and protected. The galaxy had united against humans. The galaxy had tried to crush them. But humanity refused to fall. And now, humanity stood taller than ever. Their rise had just begun.